And a good Monday evening. Coming up in the next 30 minutes, the hockey world loses a legend. The St. John Alpines finally get to play some baseball, and it's our final show of the year, so we hope you come back and join us. Good Monday evening. Welcome into Time Out here on TVNB. Jim Hennessy flying solo for the final show of the year. It's nice to have you tuned in. Certainly hope you had a nice weekend. It was indeed a wet one right around the Atlantic provinces, so not too much sporting action took place, but the St. John Alpines finally did get to play some baseball at Memorial Field Sunday afternoon, and a good result as well, 7-3 over Newcastle. The Alpines will hit the road tonight, and in about 30 minutes' time, they will be taking on the Moncton Mets at Kiwanis Park, so hopefully Mother Nature will play in their favor. Jump over to the hockey world just for a minute, and a sad, sad day over the weekend as the hockey world lost a legend. Maurice the Rocket Richard passed away at hospital in Montreal at the age of 78. Richard had been fighting abdominal cancer for the past couple of years, and his press agent just said that you hate to see anybody pass away, but it was just one of those things where Richard was in so much pain, and he was bedridden and in the hospital for the past couple of weeks. So we lose a legend. Maurice Richard, of course, owned the NHL record book when it was the original 6 of the NHL. He was the first man to score 50 goals in 50 games in a season. Finished up his career with 547 goals in 998 games. Just an absolute a landmark, an icon in the world of hockey, and of course in Montreal. He was indeed the reason that the Montreal Forum was built and packed to capacity on most nights. And the funeral services will be held on Wednesday. On Tuesday, Richard's body will be on display at the Molson Center in Montreal, and all the fans and well-wishers will have a chance to go to the Molson Center and write their names down in a book, and all the best wishes to the Richard family. So once again, Maurice Richard passes away at the age of 78, and he indeed was one of the true icons in the NHL. Still with the NHL, the New Jersey Devils and Dallas Stars will get underway tomorrow night for Game 1 of the Stanley Cup Final, and New Jersey wasn't even expected to be here. Philadelphia, of course, was leading the best-of-7 Eastern Conference Final, 3-1 at one point. Larry Robinson absolutely tore apart the Devils team after Game 4, said it was a total lack of non-effort. The boys were not playing to what the coaches were trying to teach them, and they went out and won 3 in a row. So a great showing by the New Jersey Devils. And you switch over to the Western Conference Final, you have Dallas and Colorado, and you got to be feeling bad for Ray Bourque. He hits the pipes with under 10 seconds left to go in Game 7 on Saturday night. Just a heartbreaker of a loss for Colorado. Everybody, I think, everybody that's a hockey fan wanted to see Raymond Bourque make it to the Stanley Cup Final and win that elusive ring. 20-year career, but it looks like he will be back next season, so hopefully we'll keep our fingers crossed that Raymond can win the Stanley Cup. Of course, I'd like to see Montreal win the Stanley Cup, but you got to feel for a guy like Raymond Bourque, who's dedicated his entire career to the world. His life has been hockey, and you certainly would like to see him win a Stanley Cup. But like we said, New Jersey and Dallas will get underway tomorrow night. First game goes at Reunion Arena, so it's going to be interesting to see just how far this series goes. And 2 great goaltenders, 2 great defense, so it's going to be a real good series. We hope you enjoy it. Over the weekend, Don Ferguson had a chance to get up to Fredericton to Gary Raceway for some NASCAR action, and here's what he has for us.
Gary, New Brunswick, NASCAR's here. First stop in New Brunswick at MBIS Speedway. And I think we're dressed differently for some reason, Ken. I don't know how you can survive this.
Well, I guess probably maybe it's not such a bad thing to be born with R40 insulation, you know, as factory equipment. We're into our 3rd race of the season. Hard to believe it. You know, I'm beginning to think that maybe Al Nino wasn't such a bad guy. I think we should invite him back. We had better weather out here when he was on the other coast. But we got a great turnout of cars today. 20 really fine cars, very fast. The guys have been flying out there, and we've got a great CarQuest 100 lap coming up here later on this afternoon, no doubt about that.
Okay, I saw Wayne Smith was looking pretty impressive out there earlier. He looked like a good chance for the...
Wayne Smith is dialed in. There's no doubt about that. But I'll tell you something else. Bobby White in that 81 car. Sean Tucker in the 52. Right off the top of my head, there's three guys right now that I think have probably got just about an even chance of running away with all the hardware here today.
All right, got to ask you, this car that won last week, 77, he's not here. What was the story on that?
Okay, here's what happened with Dave Gorvet. He got caught really with outdated equipment, and I'll make it as quick as I can. He went through tech at the end. They whistled the engine, which means they check it for compression and all the rest of it, and he was fine. The cylinder heads that he is running on the car, or was running on the car, became outlawed this year. I guess that's not really the right word, but they weren't allowed anymore after last year. One of his major sponsors didn't come through in time. He was going to put another set of heads on it. He figured since the fact that they whistled legal and they were legal on compression, it wouldn't hurt for a couple of weeks to run until he could get some money to get a couple of new heads. So basically what happened to him, he got caught with outdated equipment, and probably at this particular point in time, to paint him as the bad guy who was cheating is not really what was happening. The big picture is he was trying to do the best he could with what he had, and he'll be back probably on the tour in the next couple or 3 weeks as soon as he gets some more hardware.
Well, hopefully the sponsors come through for him, and he's a strong runner. He's a dedicated runner on this tour.
Absolutely, and he's been a past champ, and I don't every human that ever took a deep breath has the ability to make a bad judgment call or stretch a little to try and cover the base, and basically that's what happened with him. I mean, you know, and I certainly hope we see him back.
Okay then, Ken, let's have a look at some of this great action here from the NASCAR 100 lap feature.
You bet.
20 cars entered in the 100-lap NASCAR feature event of the day, with Dave Pierce sitting on the pole, Chris Duncan on the outside. Just a couple of laps in, leader Dave Pierce spins out on the front stretch. No contacts made, no damage is done. Lap 37, Kevin Moore is dogged by Greg Seward. They make contact. Also involved Brad Mann and Bobby White. This good battle here between St. Johners Dana Duncan and Lonnie Somerville is cut short when Wayne Smith breaks his right front rim on lap 64. Lap 80 out of 100, second place battle sees the damaged car Brad Mann fighting off Riverglade's Dave Oblinus. Ken Oblinus spins in turn 4. Lap 87, Chris Hughes and Fredericton's Matt Harris do a pirouette. On the restart, Kevin Moore battling with Lonnie Somerville. Kevin slides into turn 1. Bringing out our final yellow flag for the day. Final green flag, 5-lap dash to the finish. Sean Tucker out front. Good battle for second place between Brad Mann and Bobby White. But at the checkers, it's all Sean Tucker taking home today's NASCAR feature event.
It's been a long time. I've never won a big race in my life, so this is the first one, and I really like it.
Yeah, it really doesn't matter about the color of the sky or anything else. When it's a magic moment, it's a magic moment, isn't it?
It sure is. I really got to make a special thanks to my crew. Without them guys, I couldn't have done this. They worked so hard at this race car every night, and I owe it all to them, along with Rock and Go Truck and Trailer and Hafford Motors Limited this weekend. Thank you for coming on.
Well, I'll tell you one thing. They got to be glad they were there. If they were going to pick a weekend to get on the back of your cars, it's probably the one to pick.
Yeah, I would say it was, and hopefully we can keep things going with everybody. And I'd like to thank all the fans for coming today.
And Stolink, Needs and Green Gables, and the good folks at Parts for Trucks and Motorhome Vacations, and all of our official products and sponsors, thank you very much. And Sean, once again, from all of us, congratulations.
Thank you very much.
was looking at the neat scorch marks and stuff on your dash, and you said, yep, we had a day yesterday. A little bit of a fuel problem, a resulting fire, which means an extra thrash for you and all your guys, really, doesn't it?
Yeah, we pretty near lost her with a fire, but the crew got her back going, and they said she was hot, so I had to prove it. So
well, you did that.
I thank the crew, and too bad Wayne lost the hub there. I think he had the car today, and congratulations to Tucker and the boys. And I guess we'll go back at her a couple of weeks' time.
You know, we got some awful quality teams out here, Robert White. We got some fine people that really have their act together this year, and when you can get that many cars that run that tight together for 100 laps and put on that kind of a show, it's awful hard to beat.
That's right. I started at the back there. We cut a stem there, and everybody did a hell of a good job today, I think.
Well, I hate to say this because you're probably not going to like me much, but whenever you have to go to the back, it's always entertaining for me.
Yeah, I kind of like it, but I tell you, you get some bumps and bruises coming up through there, but that's racing.
Yep.
I'd like to thank you guys in Fredericton. This show is for you. I drove my heart out. You guys are the best, and we're so proud to bring home third place car, regular Fredericton car to finish in the top 3 in NASCAR. It really says how strong the competition is here for Fredericton every week. I think all our guys did pretty well. I'd like to thank my crew, worked hard all winter. Special thanks to DC Racing Engines out of Holton, Maine. They give us their power plant really good, in Capital City Roofing, Scotchtown Pheasant Preserve, Skill Banks Consultant, Irving Oil with their I-24 cards, a new sponsor. And we get this cast car deal put to bed for you guys. We'll try to give you a run like that with cast cars here.
We mentioned it earlier today, I think, Brad, while I got you here for a second, that one of the things that has helped NASCAR become what it is over the last number of years is the fact that you've got such a quality local program at some of the speedways in Atlantic Canada. And it certainly gives guys like you who run well locally and eventually decide maybe you want to tour with us, gives you an opportunity to jump up. And then, of course, you've got an excellent feeder program in the sportsman division, which helps keep your Pro Stack ranks growing too. So really, it's not unlike hockey. You got a good farm system. You got a consistent supply of top flight drivers.
Yeah, we do. And you know, there was a lot of rumors that we were going to go to NASCAR and stuff this year because we ran last year and we ran well. But this is my home. Fredericton's my home. Capital City Roofing's here, and I don't think you'll ever see us go anywhere. We'll run, you know, the NASCAR race. You guys come here, and we'll do a few on our off weekends. But I haven't been treated better anywhere. I've been racing since 1984, and nobody's treated me like Fredericton has in the last 4 years, and I can't ever see us leaving this oval.
No, it's good to have you here, and it's good to have you with us when we're here. We enjoy it, too. It's great fun for everybody.
It's a pleasure to run with you guys. Thank you.
Thanks a lot, Brad, man. Nice hand for him, ladies and gentlemen, and thank you again on behalf of all of our sponsors.
Earlier in the day, we saw the NASCAR Dash being won in convincing style by Wayne Smith. Looked like Wayne was going to have a good day, but as we saw later, losing that wheel didn't help him at all. Wayne Smith, winner of our NASCAR Dash. Bobby White from Kinnicook, Nova Scotia, finished second, and Fredericton's Sean Tucker took home third. In our first heat race of the day, Wayne Smith again victorious, followed by Kevin Moore of Fredericton and Greg Stewart of Halifax, Nova Scotia. Heat number 2 was taken by St. John's Chris Duncan. Chris Hughes from Brackley Beach, PEI followed. Dave Potter took third. NASCAR's next stop in New Brunswick will be at Petty Raceway on June 17th at 7 p.m. Glenn Knott from Burton, New Brunswick was victorious in the Sportsman feature race. Second place goes to Wade Harris from St. George and his cousin Jody Harris, also from St. George.
Let's hear it for 24, Jody Harris. He races out of St. George and is sponsored by Vance's Auto Supplies, Harris Brother Auto Salvage, Vance's Estimate.
Bradley Logan in the 37 car survived a double rollover, as well as the 24 car of Jody Harris. They were both able to return later. Our street stock feature for the day saw Eric LeBurk of Minnow, New Brunswick taking home the checkered flag. He was followed by Tony Urquhart and Derek Clark. This Saturday at MAS, the Can-Am Legends Challenge is on, as well as a full card of street stock, sportsman, and pro stock. Check out their website at www.nbis.com.
Thank you very much for that report, Donnie. And don't forget, there is more racing action at Gary next Saturday, or I should say this coming Saturday at 7 o'clock with the Legends Racing. So that should be interesting. We hope you have a chance to get up there and enjoy some of the great racing action at Gary Raceway. One more NHL note to make note of course, Eric Lindros suffered another concussion over the weekend on Friday night as Philadelphia were eliminated by the New Jersey Devils. Flyers general manager Bob Clark had said about a week ago that they would be interested in renewing Lindros's contract, but of course now with another concussion, Lindros's future is kind of up in the air, so we're not real sure what is going to happen there. He's expected to make comment within the next couple of days, so we look forward to see how his future is going to break down. Of course, his younger brother Brett had to retire after several concussions, and it looks like the Big E is going to have to go the same route. There's more to come in the second half, and like we said, this is the final show of the year, so we have a couple of little laps for you to sit back and enjoy over the year when we're doing this show. Sometimes we're not as perfect as we may seem, and here's some clips to prove it. Yeah, like we said, more to come, so don't go far.
By scores of 4-2 and 4-3 here at the station in St. John. Their next opponent will be the Quebec Citadels in Quebec, and they take them on Wednesday.
Yeah, okay. We'll be 500 hockey Christmas time. Okay, one final question. Do you know any women named Broomhilda?
Bruce. I knew he was going to ask him all the tough questions. That, of course, is Bobby Allen, who does a tremendous amount of work with local hockey around town. And we always like to have a little fun with Bob. We got to stop teasing him or he'll never come back on the show. Bob, thanks for dropping by all the times you did this season, sitting here and getting grilled with all the questions under the hot lights here at the studios. We appreciate your time. And, of course, Bruce, we appreciate all the effort that you put in this season as well. There was racing action at EPR over the weekend. On Saturday, the Atlantic Sire Stakes was underway, and the weather was actually not too bad, seeing that we've had quite a bit of rain over most of the week. And Saturday, the sunshine did peek through. And with a recap of the racing action from Saturday at EPR, here's Ingham Palmer and Scott Waddell.
Well, early on Saturday, we were advertising Saturday at Exhibition Park as the most exciting day of the year, and it sure turned out that way. On the racetrack for the Colts, the Atlantic Sire Stakes, we had 4 trips in 2 minutes or better, and it was a good day also for Steve Mahar on the racetrack with 4 winners. Nothing unusual for Stevie Wonder.
Oh, I had a pretty good day. You had them good days and bad days.
I understand the judges stand called you one time.
Yeah, I got fooled there. I said I didn't do anything wrong, and I was kind of wondering what it was all about, but when I got to the phone, it was you, so I was at ease then.
I should explain to the folks that your filly, K.R. Cassandra, had a bang-up trip, best trip she's ever gone. She was charted in 2:01 and 1, finishing second in 2 minutes, and I thought, well, I'm going to get Stevie to go on the air with me, and we'll kid him about his lack of effort, but the filly went a bang-up trip. But other than that, you had 4 wins.
Yeah, I had won a couple of B divisions of the Colts and a couple other races, and K.R. Cassandra raced real well. She hadn't raced for close to 3 weeks, and I think she's a little bit short, but they went in 2 minutes, and I think that might have been a little bit too much for her.
A little too much right now, yeah. She's small, but as Scott Waddell mentioned, we were talking upstairs, she's got a big heart.
Yeah, she got a big motor in her for the size of her.
Listed Ashton Colby colt from Woodstock. You won with him, and you won with Murray Calder's colt, Tickle Me Irvin, the 2B divisions of the stakes.
Yeah, Tickle Me Irvin, I have him in my own barn. I train him, and we had him in Montreal all winter, and I think he picked up like around $16,000 up there, and we kept him racing all winter, and we gave him a little bit of a break for a month, and just brought him back. We raced him in Fredericton last week just as a tightener, and he kind of surprised me. He paced 57 in Montreal, but you don't know, it's a big track and so on. And 2 minutes, last score in 28 and 4. I was quite impressed.
Yeah, you figure for the track at Montreal, a mile track, almost a mile track, it's about 4 seconds faster than a half-mile track, so that was a big trip for him.
Yeah.
And it's nice to see. I wonder if Norman Betts might be watching us tonight, or Premier Lord. We had 4 divisions of the Atlantic Sire Stakes, and not funded at all, not a penny from the government of New Brunswick. And 3 of the divisions went to New Brunswick Colts. The 2 that you won, Tickle Me Irvin, and Ashton Colby from Woodstock.
Right, yeah.
And then Bobby Kraft with Mr. Ralston.
Yes, he went a nice trip. Yeah, it's nice to see Bobby get to the winner's circle.
The other one went to Earl Smith and a Prince Edward Island colt called Big O, and that was the slowest one of the bunch.
Yeah, he's a pretty impressive colt. He was win-win-win right down the program, and slow half, and he put them all to sleep and kind of demolished them in the stretch, yeah.
Okay, we're going to go and take a look now. We'll call Scott Waddell in and review the card, show you the 4 wins that Steve Mahar had, and show you those exciting colts in action.
Thank you very much, Ingham. Looking at Saturday's afternoon's card of racing, a great day for racing here at Exhibition Park. Started out with a fast track, a little bit of rainfall later on in the program, but race 1 went to Comeback Prince, Alan Jones, his second straight win, winning in 2:03 and 3. Our second race, another New Brunswick-owned horse here, Shaky Ground, Charlie Price, the owner, catch driven by Brian Moore today, winning in 2:05 and 2. Race 3, the first division of the Atlantic Sires Stakes, Steve Mahar, you talked to a little bit earlier, winning with Denashton Colby in 2:03 and 3. Race 4, Aaron Island, Steve Mahar back up again with this fellow, winning in 2:03 and 1, owned by Murray Calder of Rosse. In race number 5, I'm So Angus, Brian Moore, winning in 2:02 and 4. Race 6 went to Tickle Me Irvin, driver Steve Mahar for Murray Calder once again, winning in a great trip in the B division, 2 minutes. Race 7 winners, Gizmo Joe, Steve Mahar back again, 2:01 and 3. Then in race number 8, the winner, Not Enough Funds, a great trip here, going over a half in 58 and 3, holding on to win in 2 minutes. Race 9, Rembrandt Blue Chip, looking good today, winning 2 minutes and 3/5 for Steve Downey. And race number 10, the first of our 2A divisions for Colts, Big O, winning for Earl Smith over a leisurely half of 3 and 3 to win in 2:04. Race 11, Lark Whistle, with the veteran Phil Pinkney driving, 1:59 and 3. 12th and final, Mr. Ralston, the St. John-owned colt, winning in 1:59 and 3.
All right, coming back in to join you, Scott, we should mention Big O and Earl Smith. That slow half cost him a little bit of money, about $345, I think, but 10% of...
It was $340. He went over a half in 1:03 and 3, stepped his last half in 1 minute and 2/5, and for that group of horses should have been a lot better than that.
Slow halves breed inconsistency.
Yeah.
These horses should have been pacing around 2 minutes.
Oh, easily. Like you seen the other, Mr. Alston won a big trip, St. John owned, winning in 59 and 3. These guys should have went about the same clip as those guys.
Surprisingly, the 3 of the 4 divisions went to the Brunswick-owned colts.
Yeah, well, this is a lot to the government if they happen to be watching. Some of the MLAs and the finance minister and the premier himself. I mean, New Brunswick is doing us proud. New Brunswick-owned horses.
You're the only province in Canada that does not support harness racing, and I guess it's not going to come about. And that's not only for today, this summer, but next summer and years to come. It is a serious problem, and it could be the death of a sport and an industry. Really, it's that serious. Anyhow, it's been fun these last 3 weeks.
Yeah, it's been a great time. Hope to be back here in the fall once again when Donnie starts up a show again, and Jim.
Okay, so we'll turn it back to Jimmy.
To Ingham and Scott, we say a big thank you for the racing reports. They were a late addition for time out here on TVNB as the season rolled into the spring months, but you guys did a fantastic job. We appreciate it, and we wish you all the best in the upcoming months as the racing industry tries to get back on all 4 legs. That is going to do it. Another year has come and gone, and we appreciate you tuning in every Monday night at 7 o'clock for time out here on TVNB. Countless number of people to thank. Stu McDonald from the St. John Flames, Bobby Allen, Bruce McDonald, Barry Johnston, who joined me here weekly, sitting in the chair, talking about all the hot topics going around locally and nationally, of course, in the sporting world, and it's just been a tremendous amount of fun. We appreciate it. To Don Ferguson working behind the camera, everybody working behind the camera for all the reports. It's just been a tremendous season, and we appreciate your support very, very much. Will we be back next season? Got to leave you with a little bit of a mystery. We'll let you know in the coming months. Have yourself a great summer. Hopefully things will dry up and warm up over the next couple of weeks. And we'll see you around town on the golf course, at the ball field, whatever the case might be. We will definitely be talking to you soon. Have yourself a great summer, and we're going to take you out with a few more bloopers. So enjoy.
Get to a quick break, and when we come back, we'll take you to more Flames action.
It's been a great season. Another one has come and gone. We appreciate you tuning in every Monday night at 7 o'clock. And we'll...
Yeah, you bet.
Last show, man. I'm never going to get out of here.
Speak three.
Okay, here we go. 3, 2, and okay, here we go.
Well, that race, that wraps, that. Give me 2 words I can say right. Yeah. Yeah. Well, that wraps it up, NASCAR fans from Antigonish, Nova. What did I say?